Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, with another MyCareer NBA 2K gameplay. And today, it is Game 6. We are taking on the Clippers. If we win this, we move on to the NBA Finals. So let's see if we can get this done. Got him again. Got Chris Paul again. And the assist. I'm probably have to do that. Oh, kill him. Oh. Put that man on the floor. I mean, put him down. Made him touch that floor again. Man, get that shit out of here. Oh, come on, man, with that foul, man. Ain't no foul. Come on, ref. We cannot go to Game 7. There you go. Man, did y'all see Game 2 last night, man? That was a good game. Game 2. Miami pulled it out. LeBron played through the entire game. It felt like LeBron was in Game 1. It looked like the Heat would have won. Or it would have been a little bit of a So, Blake Griffin still victim to my dunks, my God. But it felt like if LeBron was in Game 1, I feel like the Heat would be up two games right now. I don't know why I feel that way, but if he was in both those games, the Heat would have been up 3-2. Would have been up 2-0 right now. And I'm not knocking the Spurs, saying that they wouldn't have been able to pull off game 2 or Game 1 for that matter. I'm not saying that LeBron would have changed it or anything like that, but it felt that way. It felt like if LeBron played through that whole Game 1, the cramps just never came through, the AC never went off. I feel like maybe LeBron would have maybe the Heat would have been up 2-0 right now. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel that way. It just feels like it felt like he was just in control. It's like nothing fazed him. And it still feels that way too. It feels like nothing has fazed him. It's like he's turned on his NBA final switch. And that's what I was talking about before in one of my videos. I said before the Heat go to the NBA finals, they need to turn on that switch, that we're in survival mode now switch. And they did. They did that against the last game against the Indiana Pacers. They turned that switch on and they just destroyed the Pacers. And I felt like that was the Miami Heat sending a message saying, whoever come out of that Oklahoma San Antonio game, just know we ready. We not playing around no more. We not coasting anymore. We're playing legit now. And I like that. I like the sense of urgency that the Heat did, because the Heat were I'm not gonna lie, man. The Heat were coasting through that playoffs. They were jogging, they were skipping, they were singing songs, you know, they were coasting through that little playoff, through the playoffs. They swept the Bobcats. They got rid of the Nets in 5. I wouldn't say they let the Pacers series drag on, because that Game 6 didn't seem like they were letting it drag on. Game 6 made it seem like they were like, okay, we should have put them away in Game 5. Let's just put them away now. That's how I looked at it. I think that the Heat, and people might say oh, you dick riding, bro. I'm not dick riding. I'm telling you, I've been saying it for the longest. The Spurs look like that team that just will not be denied of a championship this year. But at the same time, it's like the Heat just transformed into that team that we're accustomed to seeing, which is that team that goes hard in the playoffs. Because throughout the first, I probably say like the first, yeah, I said the first 2 years they played no games in the playoffs. I remember the first year. The first year they won every game. They let each opponent win 5 games before they ultimately ended up losing to the Mavericks in the NBA Finals. But before they got to the finals, they were not playing games with anybody. It was like, okay, you can get that game, you ain't gonna get the next one. They beat everybody in 5. It was like in the because it's like in the season they don't seem like a championship team, but then when the playoffs come, they're a whole different animal. And this year, and I have to say, last year they kind of started coasting too. I think it was the Milwaukee series. They were just coasting, and then when they got to Chicago, it took a couple of elbow shots and all this other stuff just to let them know that Chicago's not playing around. Chicago was dead on serious about was dead on serious. They made it their mission to get at the Heat. So I think for the Heat, they had to turn that switch on. They had to keep it on. And then they got to the Pacers, and ultimately the Pacers were just feeling. I think the Pacers were feeling themselves. And then that game 7 came, and they just kept turning the ball over and over and over again, and they ultimately lost because they can't keep the ball in their possession. And that's why the Pacers lost this year, because they try to do isolation. You can't do that with the Heat. You play isolation ball, you just falling into their defense. They're just gonna set back and be like, oh, okay, let one person do all the damage to help us win. That's okay. You got to play as a team to beat the Heat. And I think that's why that's why I feel like the Spurs can do it. The Spurs can beat the Heat because they play as a team. They don't play isolation. They don't have that type of player that can do that. Or have that skill set, I should say. But that's the game. You take care of business with the Clippers. We're moving on to the NBA Finals. Let's see who we're going to face in the next video. Peace out.